Get on your feet, throw your hands in the air, find the last bit of your voice to welcome to the stage our guests for the final Baldur's Gate panel. I'm going to start down the line. First up is Theo Solomon! Aliona Baranova! Next up is Jennifer English. And of course, newbon. All right, everyone. We are going to be taking questions.
Hello, my name is Kristen.
Hi, Kristen.
I'm wondering what your impressions of Dragoncon is, since this is your first Dragoncon, I'm assuming. And it's not really like any other conventions that I personally have not been to, so I'm just wondering how you're enjoying Dragoncon and what your impressions of Dragoncon are so far.
Raw.
No, I was going to say, we have this fun activity in our hotel room where we close the door and it's like nice and quiet, and then we open it, it's like, wow!
Yeah, that.
I know you guys are like, woohoo, we're here. But shout if you're absolutely shattered.
I like the fact you're asking them to shout if they're shattered. Do some exercise if you're absolutely destroyed.
But I don't know how you guys have the stamina. It's hardcore, but so much fun.
It truly is a marathon.
Yeah.
It's been a lot of fun. I think we talked about it last night. We all had dinner last night together. It is a fun experience. Chaos incarnate.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. Chaos seems to be the right word.
Yeah, it feels like more than a convention. Do you know what I mean? It's like a carnival outside. Everyone's having a party, good vibes, energy. It's brilliant.
Amazing. Great question. Thank you so much. Let's grab another one.
I was wondering, like, so not you personally, but what D&D class and alignment would be your, like, favorite to play? It would be, like, really fun to play.
I love ninja.
I'm doing a Dirge playthrough at the moment, and I'm playing. I'm really bad at it, but I'm loving playing as a barbarian, which is, I think is half of my personality that I don't show enough of. Actually, well, unless I'm hungry, which is a lot of the time. But yeah, I love it. I just starting fights and killing people all the time. Just hobbies. Let a girl have hobbies. So yeah, Drow Barbarian is pretty cool.
Is Bard a class?
Yes!
Bard, and then you said alignment? Is that the chaotic, that one?
Yeah.
Chaotic.
You're chaotic, good baby. Don't even question it. You're fine.
Chaotic bard, yeah.
Same.
My tab at the moment is a monk, and I'll probably go for chaotic as well. I can't lie. Yeah.
Sorry. Talk about yourself.
Open hand, right?
Monks, very strong, very stoic, much like myself.
You gotta be open-handed.
Oh, yes, open hand.
Thank you
Hey, is
so
that a
much.
euphemism?
No. Open-hand monk.
Open hand fighting.
You guys' voice in the game, if you could put them in any other game or any other, like, show you like or anything, what would that be, and how do you think they would do there?
Always full performance, not just voicing. If that's okay, if you don't mind correcting. I would like to play them as in live action.
Live action or probably one of my favourite shows of all time is Arcane. Because I have good taste.
I think the squirrel. I guess Corinna the squirrel could be a great villain in the next season of Stranger Things. Never expect it, exactly. Never.
I'm still thinking. I have not woken up.
I'd say live action as well, or maybe throw Will Ravengard into the MCU universe.
Yeah, I'll take that one too. This next question is actually going to come out. Neeler is the name. Do you? Oh, I'm so sorry. That is incorrect. This comes from Blue Fuzzball. Blue Fuzzball wants to know.
Blue Fuzzball.
The Blue
Fuzzball.
Would like to know, which would you say is harder, doing motion capture or actually acting, the voiceover acting for the role?
What? Did you say actually acting?
Oh no.
In the role.
Oh no.
Blue Fuzzball.
There we go.
Nice, darling.
Yeah. So, tell us about the motion
Is it
capture.
harder in the booth or is it harder to do full performance?
Yes, exactly. Correct.
Oh, yeah.
Do you guys want to take it? I'm happy to, but...
Like you want to take it.
All yours.
So they're different disciplines. In the same way that theatre, television, film is a different discipline, so is booth work and so is full performance mocap. So is also creature work in mocap or just doing mechanics. They each require a different technique and different experiences and different challenges. But also it's all fundamentally performance. So mocap is an old term, which is a technical term, which comes from the original, it's actually kinetic from science. They used to use it to work out people's gaits for amputees and things like that, which is very cool. When they started putting it into entertainment, the term stayed around, it's still there, and it actually means something different now. It means without face or hand data, just with head and body data. But actually it's all performance. So a mocap artist actor, which is not a great term, an actor who does mocap, is still performing even if there's no voice, or if it's a scratch track, or if there's no face, it's all performance. So it just requires a different technique. It really depends on the actor. What do they prefer? What is their skill set? How useful is their Yeah. So it's really about that.
Cool. Yeah. Great answer. Let's grab another from the audience.
Hi. I was wondering what you guys did to sort of get in the zone for acting, if you have a routine.
I didn't really. It's hard with video game because I mean, saying that you prepped your script every day. Neil did his homework, and but I think for me, and I think I'm kind of talking on behalf of Dev as well, because I think we
Doesn't even know what the question is.
How did we get into
How did you get into voiceover acting?
No,
How did you prep?
I'm just gonna sit this part
talk on
just
Dev's
speak
behalf. Yeah.
Sorry, back to the serious question.
Serious question. Yeah, for me, Shadowheart was very much about instinct and about being very alive in the room and very present with the script. And because I found it really hard to prep for it, because you'd be thrown into different situations and you wouldn't really know where you were in the order of things because of the way the script was. And so I thought if I really prepared it, then I wouldn't be, and this is just personally, I wouldn't be as open and as in the moment. And I would also come with set ideas, and I wanted to really collaborate with my directors. And so for me, it was really important to be as free as possible. And I didn't used to be like that. And that was the joy of this job, is that we got to learn. I mean, it was over 4.5 years and over a pandemic and several life changes. So we really grew as people, or I certainly did. I hope you guys did too, unless you're just stuck in your ways. But yeah, I'm just retired now. It really allowed me to trust myself, and so cheers, Shadowheart.
Made you malleable as a performer as well. which is a gift to the directors. I'm giving you a compliment.
Oh, sorry, I was flirting with Dev. I'm sorry.
It's a great lady. Form an ordinary man.
Thank you, valuable. Thank you. I love it.
No, I think
No, actually, I have nothing to add. She spoke on behalf of me. I have nothing.
Now I was answering for Dev. Yay, Lazel.
The way that Dot's staring at the question, you were not prepared for this.
Yeah,
You weren't
I'm like
prepped
scrolling.
for this.
So you're okay. These questions, like, okay, so we've answered some of these, but yeah, this is a lot of branch questions, which I'm currently avoiding.
No, I was gonna say, like, for me to get into character, one of my old drama school teachers, she said, you have to figure out what you're not to figure out what you are if you ever get like a block as an actor. So, you know, if you're confident, if you're a warrior, if you're a royal, you're not gonna walk with your head down, your chest in, like your shoulders curved. So once you start working out to in, puff out your chest, smile with your head up, the voice and everything just kind of comes from there naturally. So I think personally that's the best way to get into character, like physically, and then that informs the internal. Yeah.
Always in character.
Well,
Very in
it
character.
depends who you ask. But I'm going to answer for Theo and Jen. And I'm going to say that actually getting into bass pose, we talked about this yesterday a bit on the panel, after so many years of doing it, you just get into the bass pose and you find your physicality and the voice is there. So basically exactly what you were saying.
Thanks, Dad.
And I apologise for the unprofessionalism of my colleagues. I think it's time for a new question.
Narrator in Baldur's Gate, which, you know, amazing performance, but what kind of tone do you think the game would have if it was your character narrating the game?
Oh, that's a good one.
Well, we did actually, except for Theo, because I think they stopped it
That
by
was
the
yeah, it
time.
was before you joined us, actually.
We did do our own narration.
For a split second. It's actually, this is public knowledge because it's been released on YouTube. Swen's talked about it as well, so I'm pretty sure we can talk.
And it didn't work.
It didn't work.
But I know for Shadowheart it was all very like, and then I did this, and I'm very concerned about it and conflicted all the time. And I don't really remember anything, but listen, it was like there's a reason why we don't want to hear in each other's heads. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, so Lauren made a very good choice. And obviously Amelia absolutely knocked it out of the park. She's blinded. You can't think of the game without thinking of her voice in it. Do you know what I mean? She did an amazing job. So I'm just glad that Lauren, they tried it because obviously, you know, you have to go through ideation in games. I'm sure there's lots of devs here, you know, telling you things you already know. But obviously, many times in a game, you might try something and it may not quite work for many different reasons. That was just something they tried, it was an interesting idea, and then they decided to do something else, and they made the right call as well.
I will say, it would be quite funny to have an Astarian do a kind of RuPaul's drag race.
And then I told him, well, no. And that was the end. And then I took a little lap and had some lunch, saw a friend, it was rather wonderful. It would take the jeopardy, I feel, out of most situations.
I was just going to say, and I imagine Lazel would just be like cruel about everything and really angry.
Are you answering for me again?
Yeah, yeah! Sorry, Dev.
Let's try that. Okay, and so Aliona would think that.
I was thinking, like, what if the squirrel was very, like, surreal, very trippy, very psychedelic? Great.
You must know my narration was delightfully aggressive.
Lovely.
Delightfully aggressive.
Great question. Thank you so much.
Hello. It's been nice meeting you guys. I'm Carmen. I was just wondering if you could take any item from the Baldur's Gate universe just to like have. What would you take?
A night orchid.
Aww.
A night orchid. You
Night
just
orchid.
said to me, what the frick is that? You give it to Shadowheart. This the joke.
As if I would know.
Oh, you put in my hand, they're deadly poisonous. Jegging. That one.
Jackie!
That one.
No? No, it is. Neil, actually.
Oh, actually, no, but it's okay.
Anyone else?
It's a romantic and it can kill you.
No, that's the
No.
Don't worry about it.
I would take.
We get it. That's all that matters. We get it.
Catch it. I'm not sure how, but I would.
Roost it. Is that the only item you would all take?
Scratch. He is a knighten. I am his master. And he's also best boy.
Mine's really dumb. Like, mine's just the leather helmet. I think they look sick. All my companions wear them. They're like a little cult in my playthrough. And someone actually made me one yesterday, so shout out to Dove. I'll be wearing that all the time.
I love to see you in UK Customs and Borders going, would you mind please taking off your helmet? Welcome home, take off the helmet.
I take the necromancy of Save because I haven't figured out what to do with it yet. I have a little tinker.
Just hang on to it till you figure it out. Yeah. I'd actually like to grab for our mic. I'd like to grab these two questions down front, if at all possible.
But will we maybe expect to see you in other leading companion roles sometime?
You just
in the
said
near
we know
future?
that you can't talk about it, but tell us.
In detail, Neil.
I'll take this one.
Oh!
Everyone. Well, maybe not.
Please.
The answer is yes, but no.
We have been, but also I'd just like to say, for everyone that thinks that now we've been on Baldur's Gate and we're like, hey Merson, we don't have to audition anymore. We audition still, and please give us jobs. Sometimes I think like companies and people that hire us are like, oh, they're in Baldur's Gate now, we can't like touch them, we can't even approach them. They're just like, but that's not true.
We've had auditions to do while we've been here.
Yeah,
We've got them to do.
yeah.
That's also worth doubling down on that. You're absolutely right. That we do indie, AA and AAA. It's not like you do one thing and then you never do anything else again.
Completely.
You know, it's about the
We're
work.
available. Yeah, that's what.
You just stand in for a job interview, right? But yeah, I think it's worth noting that all of us none of us got into this to be well known. We got into this because the craft is the craft. She's the example that proves the rule.
I'd also just like to add, contrary to the internet, that we are not millionaires.
Oh God, yeah.
Have you seen how much we're worth?
We're worth a lot of money according to the internet, and nor do I have a brother called, like, what was it, Hans? I don't know where that came from! Two brothers, and I don't understand why.
And you're very secretive about your relationship.
And I'm very secretive about my relationship,
Oh, really
apparently.
secretive.
They're not sure if I'm married or not. So yeah, just like to clarify, we are not completely out, booked up with work, and we're not millionaires. Unless someone would like to make us
desperate, Jen. Come on, rein it back now. Rein it back. Come on. We're not completely booked up for work.
We're fine. Well, you could. This next question ready. I'm going to go ahead and answer one here from Discord from EA. Huge deal.
I don't think any of us thought it would be on this scale. I think the thing for us, we knew the game was going to be great. Every game, no matter how good or bad it is received, takes a huge amount of work from developers, animators, directors, actors, everybody that's involved in it. An enormous amount of people power. This game we knew was going to be good, great. We hoped. I don't think any of us could foresee the level of connection with the story, the characters, and the gameplay itself as well, and just the entire thing that the community has had, and the community that's been created around it as well. That's the most extraordinary thing, I think. I know I'm speaking for everybody, but we've talked about this many times. Sorry.
And I think that's a good thing as well, because when you're in the volume and in the studio and you're with the directors, you're locked in on your character and your storyline. You're not thinking about external things. And I think if we had the pressure of knowing this game was going to blow up and it was going to be this huge thing, that would have been a lot of kind of thinking about how am I going to do this, how am I going to do that. So it just works so naturally. Just, do you know what I mean?
You can't play for the audience when you're in the present moment of the character. You've got to play just the character's fictional truth as sincerely as possible with great love. Because if you start thinking, oh, they'll like this bit, you don't know that. And also, having done theatre, like most have done theatre, you know that you don't know how the audience is going to react. They may not like the gag that the audience the night before liked. So that's the interesting thing about this. We're just playing it for the moment, and we hope that you will connect to it and get it. You know?
Well, I would say you clearly did connect with it.
I was just going to say that I think you did know a little bit because Neil did go at one point to me, this is going to be a big deal, and I was like, shut up, no one. And like, thank goodness he did prep me a little bit, I think, because yeah, it's blown up a little bit, hasn't it, guys?
Just a little bit.
Great question. Let's grab the other one from over here.
Hello, my name is Deanna.
Hi, Deanna.
And I'm a boomer, obviously, and I've got
We don't judge.
I've gotten to know you all and your characters through my daughter. And do you think a 69-year-old could play your game?
Yes.
Yes!
You don't need anybody's permission. The game is, it's like saying, do you have to be young or old to watch theatre or go to a movie? Well, to a movie, yes, you do actually. But the point is that
you guys have created this project, which means a lot to a lot of people, and between all of you, you have all these dozens of projects under your belt. So one day, hopefully many decades from now, when you shuffle this mortal coil, what do you want your legacy to be?
What legacy would you like to leave behind?
Monday morning.
legacies is you don't know until you're dead. I mean, speaking personally, I don't aim to leave a legacy like that. Do you know what I mean? It's like, I don't know. I mean, I hope people will just look kindly on us. That's an unusual question. So.
I hope I'm not known as the squirrel. As an actor myself, I'd like to move on a little bit.
I hope to be known for my love of ranch.
Mine would just be Theo Solomon, PhD in quantum physics.
And very appropriately, I hope on my headstone? Yeah. Gravestone, God's favourite princess.
I wouldn't mind it.
He was a gatekeeper and a hater. Also the most interesting guy in the world. R.I.P. Very fun, thank you.
Wondering what conscious physical choices went into building the portrayals of your character, whether that is posture, gestures, facial expressions.
Well, we didn't do facial capture.
Right.
Facial reference. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
It was different.
Because I think a few people were so nicely complimenting me, and I some of them I corrected, and some of them I thought, I'm just gonna leave it because I want to take it. I want to take this compliment. They were like, your Lazel eye roll was so good, and some of them I'd be like, yeah, it really was. That was all me.
You can see it on the videos that Lorraine posted. We don't have any markers or HMC on. Basically, they had a video. You can see the video reference. So I'm pretty sure it's okay to say this. They had a video reference, which means they observe our performances. So we're not having to try to play to an animation. It's just what came out naturally. Then the animators would find the best bits of those that they liked and helped enhance the performance that way. So it was kind of like an unusual way of doing it. It was very cool though. It was very freeing for us because we didn't have to wear an HMC.
I think
because these guys spent so long with their characters, it became second nature to them to get into the physicality that I feel like you can't even, we probably could describe it if you thought about it, but you're just physically, you know how to be them. But you did initially develop it at the beginning of the process to find what works with the character.
I mean, also, there's lots of things you can draw on as an actor, which is why if anybody wants to be I hate the term, a voice actor, don't be a voice actor, be an actor, because you're going to miss out on these wonderful tools and methods that you can explore. I did, like Aliona, I pulled from Community Latte, I used animal work, like all these different things. Even if you're just doing voice work, you can still use it in physicality in the booth. And I really urge people, don't just aim to do funny, interesting voices. It's far better to do 2 or 3 voices maximum and do them so well that people connect to the character, and that requires training, as well as gut instinct and good ability naturally. You need to train for that, because it gives you all this possibility, do you know what I mean? So yeah, that's it.
She's just seconded.
Yeah.
Like, villain, but I win.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, also you have to understand Maggie Robertson smashed it out of the park. She's a phenomenal actor. So the fact that we got to meet Maggie, I know Maggie before everybody met Maggie, and already is just an awesome character. Yeah, definitely.
Don't take Maggie away from us like that, come on.
I'm taking Maggie away.
All of you.
I know you are.
I love the hag as well.
Oh, the hag.
Oh. Yeah, you all forgot about the hag.
I forgot about the hag. It's a close second with the hag.
I think Raphael.
It's quite funny though, as a lesbian, he doesn't work on me.
Alright mate, jog on. The Zora on the other hand.
Alright, now take my soul. Fine.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Yes, Baldur's Gate 3, you utilized an intimacy, I can't even say.
You're doing great.
An intimacy coordinator. Not many video games do that. What is an intimacy coordinator, and why it was important to have one?
Yeah. The intimacy coordinator, so it's someone when, it's not just for the actor, it's for the whole team. So when these guys were recording lines that were the romance scenes, in order to keep them comfortable, but also all of us in the room, because it's quite sexual lines. Someone was brought in to our studio where we were recording the dialogue in order to make sure that everything went right, everyone felt comfortable. And also when the motion capture was recorded for the cut scenes, there was an intimacy coordinator there, especially for the kissing scenes, those romance scenes. The reason that they were brought in was actually, it was in Jen's session. She was doing, I think, it wasn't a fight with laser, was it?
No, I think it might have been skinny dipping. Anyway, it was.
Were you straddling pillows or something?
Yeah.
And Tom Mitchell's, the voice director, sort of realised like this, we shouldn't be doing this without some guidance in the room to make sure that everyone is comfortable with what's going on, especially Jen. And he spoke to Lauren, and then they brought the intimacy coordinator in, and the rest is history, really. Did I miss any details?
No, I think the thing is, it's ultimately about everyone feeling safe, and I just think that's absolutely amazing. And I think, like in video games, but across any industry, which, like, you know, any part of the industry that should have it, and I think it's something that now I think should be an absolute baseline requirement. So yeah, I'm really proud that we were on a project that kind of spearheaded that for a large part. So yeah, well done everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're looking at you. Deep in thought.
Yeah, I think I haven't done a playthrough with Will yet, but he's in my party, and I think the answer to your 2 questions for me is the same. It's when Will talks about his father, and it's weird when I play the game, yeah, sometimes Will says a line, I'm like, oh shit, like, that's me. when did I say that? And I think getting really deep and digging into those like wells of emotion, because as an actor you have to put part of yourself into all of your characters, and to do that you have to draw from your own experiences. So to go through that as a character, like for Will to go through that and then to hear those lines back as a player, I realized how deep the guy is and how much he was going through. So yeah, for me, Will and his father for sure, man.
Not Bernard?
Aww.
Bernard a little bit as well.
I just reached Act 3 in my playthrough. Shocking, I know. And I came across, it was the one stream that broke me, and I just cried. And I don't often cry, do I? No. And I met this little girl that was looking for her mother. And then we had to tell her, like, you could, all the options, and one of them was just like, oh, come back to camp and stuff. And then back at camp, I was like, we have to somehow, you know, we have to control this situation. We can't, you know, it was really a lot. Just even thinking about it now makes me anxious. And then at camp, she was like, so where's my mummy? Like, where's it? And I was like, oh, was it Arabella? Possibly, yeah. And then I had to tell her, and it was so much, and I was just, it broke me. It really broke me. Me! It was great. That was a stand-up moment. And for me, as the actor, probably, and I say this a lot, but Lae'zel's sunrise scene over Baldur's Gate. Yeah, because it's one of the only scenes where she really shows her true self. I believe her vulnerability and just her softness, which has probably been there all along. Or maybe the players coaxed it out of her, I don't know, but it was really lovely to play that scene after many years of not really allowing her vulnerability to come through. So I enjoyed that a lot.
Woo!
Come back to me. Okay. As an actor, God, the Shadowheart parent scenes. that was genuinely really hard to record, and you have to go over it again and again. And for me, as like we all have different techniques as actors and different approaches. And I find I have big feelings, and I find it very hard to. I mean, part of our job is to separate, but sometimes you just can't. And I tried to put as much of myself into the character as possible, and that was really difficult. And thank God for an amazing directing team that were just there to hold that space. But yeah, that nearly broke me. But and then watching it, like kind of as a player, I think two answers. One for Shadowheart, because you know it's me. I think her talking about her chronic pain, and I don't think I really understood the resonance. I mean, as someone who experiences chronic pain, it was just quite genuine, and I like the way that it's written. It feels very just honest, because that's what people deal with. It's not like this big dramatic thing. It's like, yeah, it's a thing, and if you don't mind, just let me do my thing. Thanks. And I just think I've never seen that represented in media. So for me, that was huge to watch back, actually, more so than recording it. And then the other one would be when Lae'zel when her world comes crashing down in the Crash Clear, and Dev's performance is next level, and just really proud of her.
Following up with Jen's answer, I was directing on the session with your parents, and usually as Jen's partner we met during the game. You didn't know? We would still maintain professionalism, and we'd try and be as detached as we could, and then talk about it later at home. But oh my God, wasn't that a bit crazy? When you were doing the parent scene, I remember I could see in you that you were really channeling something so real and truthful to you. And I know Jen's parents as well, so it was really hard to watch that and be like, yeah, it's a good take, yeah, let's go again. So it's that. But also as a performer, I realised I did some of the motion capture for the cutscenes, as I believe you did as well, Neil, and I do wish you got to do this, but they didn't have you in to do the cutscene mocap. I did the hug with the parents, with Shadowheart's parents, and like post-crying after everything that's happened. That was really emotional. And
You
quite
do a beautiful job, yeah.
As your partner, to be the one to get to do like that moment for Shadowheart. I feel like we're Team Shadowheart with what we created, so to have that moment felt like closure. Yeah, that was really emotional.
Let's get another question, just for the sake of trying to get as many in as possible, because we're down.